What up, y'all? Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Antonio D. Miles, and welcome. So today we're going to talk about the city San Bernardino. And where is San Bernardino located? It's located in Southern California, about an hour and a half inland, east of LA, Los Angeles, or about 2 hours from San Diego, a little bit north, right? So most people actually ended up in San Bernardino lately, as of now, within the past 10 to 20 years. Not by choice, unfortunately. They got pushed out of here, probably from gentrification, not being able to economically afford living in LA and nicer areas. So they were pushed more inland to the desert, which is where San Bernardino is. And San Bernardino County, is actually the biggest county in the United States. It's the biggest county in California as well, which is kind of interesting, right? And, for everyone who likes their Big Macs and their drinks, their soft drinks, their McDonald's, what a lot of people don't know is that McDonald's was invented, created, started in San Bernardino. I know, wild, right? I remember when I first moved out this way, and I was like, is that the Hamburglar? Yeah, they have a little shop, a little museum, I guess you could say, in downtown San Bernardino. And I'm not sure if this is true, but I was told that Cal State San Bernardino, the university, was originally, or could have potentially have been, McDonald's University. I guess people would probably be trained how to work at McDonald's, or maybe McDonald's would own it. I'm honestly not really sure. But that would have changed the economic standpoint in San Bernardino crazy, right? Even like the TV show, what is it called? Come on, Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad had the choice between choosing to film in Arizona or San Bernardino. They chose Arizona, right? But imagine the economic change it would have brought to San Bernardino. It would have been crazy. It would have been super crazy, right? And, when you think about work industries, right? The biggest work industry that we think about LA is like the film industry, right? That's the film industry, right? When you come to San Bernardino, it's mostly desert and warehouses. Like the warehouse is home of the San Bernardino, the Inland Empire. Like you want a job in San Bernardino, more than likely you're working warehousing. Most people who live in San Bernardino work in warehousing. It's almost guaranteed. Probably like 1 out of 3 people or 4 people you talk to, either they work in warehouse or someone they live with work in a warehouse. But hey, it helps keep this economy going out here in San Bernardino. You know what I mean? And, the homelessness out here in San Bernardino is something else. Yeah, there's some homelessness in LA too. It's kind of bad, but LA's more of like it's more like a congested city, right? Everything's like kind of like built on top of each other. San Bernardino's kind of more like big spots and plots of like land that are like empty and dirt plots like looking to be rebuilt and stuff like that. And then the homeless people out here, man, they're bold. They be out here talking to themselves. You think they're talking to you. You literally will be outside and you'll hear someone in an argument and you're like, man, who are they fighting with? And they're fighting with whatever demon, whatever thing they see, and it's real. It's real. And another big another big economic factor or things that bring economy to the city of San Bernardino is the mental institution, the Patton Hospital. Patton Hospital has a lot of jobs that, help fund the economy around the San Bernardino area. And, I actually never have lived close to a mental institution or even, driven by one and known anyone so close. But there's one literally right there off of Highland in San Bernardino. It's got barbed wire on top. And what they say is that barbed wire either is meant to keep people out or keep people in. And that barbed wire is definitely there to keep people in. And I'm pretty sure there's probably a correlation between the people who are crazy, not all there in their mind, walking on the streets, homeless, and the hospital that's not too far away. Also, San Bernardino has high crime rates. I'm not gonna lie. As unfortunately as most communities with blacks and browns highly there, usually the crime rates are high. So sad to say, but yeah, San Bernardino is no exception. The crime rates are high. Even I think it's ranked like 22 or 23 in the United States as being the being population per homicide, right? There's a population. I think the percentage is like 23 or 33%, and it's pretty high for the amount of people in like a square foot. And San Bernardino is ranked pretty high in that. And there's an old saying which is like, mind your own business, and you know, don't start no mess, won't be no mess. That's the old saying I grew up with back in the day. But sometimes there's just people out here who, they just doing what they do, but just try to be safe, be wise, and San Bernardino be like that. But needless to say, with all that drama and stuff like that, there are some hard-working people out in San Bernardino. There are some hard-working people out here who come out every day, put their energy on the line, put their family through school and through college, and they're out here working really hard. My Mexicanos, Latinos, my chocolate Americans, and Asian Americans, everyone is working out here. My Arab-speaking Americans, everybody is working. Of course, my Caucasoid Americans, everybody is out here working to try to get it done. More people are trying to do right than people who are trying to do wrong. And that's kind of how it is in every neighborhood, right? It's always the few bad apples that ruin it for everybody, right? It's always the few bad apples that ruin it for everybody. But majority of people out here, they're working their ass off to get it done. And they're doing a great job. You actually meet a lot of down-to-earth people here. You also meet a lot of people out here who like to drink. I'm telling you, people like to drink in San Bernardino. But I'm pretty sure people like to drink everywhere. They also like to puff that chiba, if you know what I mean. A little puff, puff, puff. Mm-hmm. But, there's a lot of weed shops, too, out here. It's crazy how many weed shops. It's like, damn, I guess everybody's smoking that weed, nowadays. But, it is what it is. But there are a lot of hard workers out here trying to get that paper, trying to get that money, so that way they can live that prosperous life they're trying to get to. And San Bernardino has an interesting history, right? It's actually been part of a song, Route 66. If you ever plan to motor west, get your kicks on Route 66, blah. It mentions actually San Bernardino in it. Right, so these classic cars would drive down Route 66, which is now called Foothill Boulevard, right? And San Bernardino would be one of the spots that they would stop at to show off their cars, right? And according to sources that I know, people who have lived in this city for many, many years, like their generations, there used to be actually really big pockets of big black communities here in San Bernardino, but they created the 210 freeway to go through these communities on purpose and destroy these communities, right? Separate them, disparage them, displace these communities, which is very interesting, right? And, I talked to a friend of mine who's grown up here all his life. He's almost 40. And he said that, yeah, the black population used to be big. There used to be big communities. There used to be Black History Parade, Black History Month event. There used to be all these things, Black history. He's like, but now in San Bernardino, there's nothing. Black people don't own anything. Afro-Americans don't do anything. Everyone else has something except for blacks. And it's a sad thing to say, but that's what's happening. Is it done on purpose? Probably more so than not, right? But, as Black Americans, we can't always blame everything on everyone else. Sometimes we got to put our foot forward as much as we can to be better. And that's just bottom line, wherever we are, wherever we go. You know what I mean? And so don't ever forget that. We have to take responsibility, even though people try to put their knees in our back. Sometimes we just got to pop them off and keep it pushing, and figure out ways to maneuver, pivot, and get things better, right? But yeah, San Bernardino's got an interesting history like that. And one thing that bugs me about San Bernardino, I'm not going to lie, When it rains in downtown San Bernardino, it floods. It literally floods. Like you could probably get like a little boat and like float your way better than driving your car. Excuse me. You can float your way in downtown San Bernardino when it floods, when it rains, better on a boat than driving your car and getting surrounded and trapped. It's just they need to fix that. They need to fix that. I don't know how long it's been like that. I don't know why they haven't fixed it, but the infrastructure needs work, and especially that flooding thing, it's going to be an issue one day. I'm telling you guys. I am telling you guys. It is going to be an issue one day if they do not fix that flooding situation when it rains. It's terrible. It is terrible. And I can't imagine if you like to like, have your car leaned, lowered, you know what I mean? Like that dirty low, that dirty, like to ride dirty, then catch me rolling. If you are rolling dirty in your car low and you try to do that, your engine is done. Your car is done. It's done. It is done. How many times have I said that? It is done. It's like a steak that no one wants. Well done. Ugh. Right? So San Bernardino needs to fix that for sure, right? And, San Bernardino is on its way to Vegas. And so I look at San Bernardino as being like the perfect spot to be like invested in, to be like the middleman in order to go to Vegas. Because it's like right there on the way to Vegas. You hit the 215 freeway, and you go to Vegas. So it'd be so cool if we had more investments here in San Bernardino. So that way people can get like a little, get like, a little pregame, a little hotel or whatever, a little turn up or whatever, right before they get ready for their big trip to Vegas or coming back to Vegas, going to LA. I believe that San Bernardino has the potential to do it, but it's just like it feels like and it seems like nobody really cares. And that's another thing that I noticed from people when I'm like, they'd be like, hey man, where do you stay at? Where do you stay around? But like, hey, San Bernardino. They'd be like, San Bernardino? Ugh. Everybody. You tell somebody that you live in San Bernardino or live close to San Bernardino, people are like, oh, San Bernardino? Oh man, I feel sorry for you. That's terrible. That city's ghetto. That city's broke. That city's poor. It's dirty. There's dirty people there. All these negative connotations. Every possible negative connotation you can think about San Bernardino, about any place people contribute and put towards San Bernardino. And it's wild. There isn't one person that I heard say, San Bernardino? That's a nice place. Not one. Not one. Not one. Not one. The only time I heard that was San Bernardino used to be a nice place. The Inland Center Mall in San Bernardino used to be nice. This area used to be nice. But, like I said, from the economic change, a lot of, people who couldn't afford the low income housing that used to live in LA and further, towards that way, they were pushed. They came out to San Bernardino, the gangs and everything. And it just brought San Bernardino to a different level. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like every neighborhood, there is the north end and the south end, where people who are doing, looking nice, and there's people who are struggling. There are people who are really struggling, But all in all, home is where the heart is. Home is what you want to do. I honestly believe that San Bernardino has the potential, the real potential, to be the middle ground between LA and Vegas, right? I think there should even be like a train that connects from LA, San Bernardino to Vegas. And there's already a train that stops at Union Station in LA and San Bernardino. So they just need to connect the train from San Bernardino to LA and just make San Bernardino have like some type of party scene, some type of like tourist scene. And it could just help bring the money up and the real estate up. And so many great things can definitely happen. I can just see it. I can visualize it in my brain. And there's just so many barren spots in San Bernardino that's so easily to invest in and put in, So, you guys, I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about San Bernardino, about the city, and that it's here in Southern California, and I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it. Again, my name's Antonio the Miles. Stay tuned for more stuff on the podcast. Also, I got an ebook coming out very soon called 10 Things That Your Parents Should Have Taught You But Didn't. So stay tuned for that. And until then, I will catch you all next time. Peace.